My dear people of Southern Cameroons, accept revolutionary greetings from me, your comrade, John Ba Akuro. Today is Friday, May number 7. Yes, Friday, the 7th of May, in the year of our Lord, 2021. I come today, my people, for us to have an interesting discussion. Let us have an opportunity today to examine a few things around our collective struggle for freedom. Let us examine a few things around our collective struggle to ensure that we get the independence, that we take back our independence, the absolute independence that was stolen from us in 1961. My people, today we will be examining an avalanche of issues, but I'm going to make sure that we keep it at least slightly brief, not too long. It may be a bit long, but not really long. Just so we comprehend that we are making a lot of inroads in our journey to Boya, in our journey to total freedom. We may be having a few difficulties, a few obstacles on the way, but we are overcoming, absolutely. In my last presentation, I caused us to see this our sister Lillian in Australia, who stood up and stood out at a time she needed to answer the call when the opportunity presented itself. And yes, we have all celebrated Lillian. But we must transform ourselves, each and every one of us, into this Lillian wherever you find yourself. When the opportunity presents itself, don't think twice. Go right ahead and pick it up. Now, I'd like us to carry on this conversation around a theme. I have used this over and over and over. It really has not been sinking into people's minds, into people's hearts, or into people's brains. But now, more than ever before, I think this expression should be making meaning to people. That whenever you settle for less than you deserve, you will end up with less than you settled for. I will come back to this within the course of this discussion, just to remind each and every one of us of the importance of this very short saying. This is true. My people, I think as Southern Cameroonians, we will recall that we were the first ever thriving democracy in Africa south of the Sahara. Yes, in sub-Saharan Africa, we were the first ever thriving democracy way back from 1954 to 1959. Or rather, right up to 1961. Listen, where a party in power organized elections and lost to the opposition and handed over, as Endeli, as Foncha, they will tell you this. But then we cannot retrogress to suddenly find ourselves virtually in an autocratic kingdom. Because what is unfolding east of the Mungo, what is unfolding in La République du Cameroon right now is that a monarchy is being put in place. And this is exactly what we had foreseen. Our forebears had foreseen a long time ago. That is why Dr. Bernard Fonlong, way back between 1962 and 1963, already started pointing out we might have made a grievous mistake. This is why people like Fongum Goji Dinka started fighting way back in the 60s. They didn't even wait until the 70s to start fighting, to start saying we must begin to open our eyes seriously. This is what so many people like Let Abel Mukong, Pamolanjo Litumbe, Chief Ayamba Ete Otun, all of these people, they saw this coming and they stood up and stood out and started crying. But only a lot of people didn't see it at the time. But today our eyes are wide open. Look, this is how it started. When it was clear that the constitution of that country will bar Mr. Paul Biya from being candidate for elections in 2011, they started talking about l'appel du peuple. They started making noise here and there and all and all. Gradually it went. They have never changed their method. No. Our people, those people who call themselves our elite, are the only ones who have remained gullible, who have remained, I don't know, myopic in their approach to things, and who have refused to see, because the crumbs from the slave master's table continue to deceive them. They refuse to hear when they had ears, refuse to see when they had eyes. It went crescendo. Now look at it. This was on Labor Day. Those are the approach of Labor Day. On April 30, breaking Labor Day, Mireille Bissek, who was running the CRTV webpage at CRTV, came up with this. This is official on the CRTV website. Unless that's been stepped down, but it's official on the CRTV website. She just says, oh, nous sommes vendredi 30 avril, bonne fête du travail à tous, et pour illustrer nos souhaits, juste un clin d'œil. Then the no followers. That is like, let's at least salvo this from one of our followers. But you know, she was sending a message. Unfortunately, she happened to be going faster than the system wanted to go. They wanted to go on the peripheries, every periphery, before they get to their drums. Because Shandongo said, CRTV was Mr. Paul Biya's talking drum. So they want to go through the peripheries until before they settle down onto CRTV and Cameroon Tribune and start singing it now, making it official. But at the time, they know that they would have convinced people, they would have brought in, they would have smashed it down the throats of the people at all costs. But unfortunately for them, Mireille Bissek got so enthusiastic. Of course, she's not from the Betty clan or whatever. Perhaps she even did it deliberately. And so as soon as she put out this image, the outrage was unimaginable. This is Mireille Bissek. And so Mireille Bissek was immediately suspended from her duties. Some even say she was fired. But she was immediately suspended from her duties for bringing this clear to the people of La République du Cameroun and to the rest of the world that it is official that the quest to enthrone Frank Biya as the successor of ailing Paul Biya is official. My people of the Southern Cameroons, if you had not opened your eye, begin to open them now. If it had not gone deep into you that you are forfeiting a heritage of democratic culture, a heritage of openness, a heritage of community self-reliance, a heritage of competitive advantage, a heritage of total freedom, where people decide their own development priorities by themselves to get into a heretical kingdom. If it hadn't dawned on you, let your eyes be open. The suspension slammed on Mireille Bissek is hypocritical. The suspension slammed on Mireille Bissek is not because they think she did the wrong thing, but it's because they think she went a bit faster than the machinery that was put in place. This is where we are. These are the things that we are witnessing this day. These are the moments that we have to overcome, my people. I just wanted us to see this very quickly before I move into the viv of our discussion. So you know that each time you want to be discouraged about our collective quest for freedom, that each time you let discouragement get into your mind, each time you allow the manipulation from our various groups to carry sway on you, that each time you allow yourself to be taken into the unenviable circle of those who, rather than throwing their punches on the colonial power oppressing us, you want to tend to throw your punches on your various colleagues, you are doing us all a lot of wrong. Listen, my brothers and sisters, what is before us is enormous. What awaits us if we allow ourselves to sink in this struggle against the beautiful prospects that are clear for us to win? We are going to get straight into an Armageddon. My people, open your eyes. Shine your eyes. Let us synergize. Let us work together. It is more important to work together now than it had ever been at any other time. Focus your energy, your entire energy on Yaounde, and then let your eyes remain on Boya. This is the way to success. This is how we will be able to overcome. And listen, my people, while La République is preparing their monarchy, of course, like what we've seen in Chad, like what we already saw in Togo, with Nyasi Mbe Iyadema, with what we saw in Gabon, with Omar Bongo Ondimba handing over to his son Alim Bongo, my brothers and sisters, that's what's about to happen in our neighbor's country, La République du Cameroon. And if Mr. Paul Biya's track record is anything to go about, just imagine the disaster, which means that country is going to get yet another 40 or 50 years of developmental drought. Do we really want to be part of that? I think the answer to everyone is no. Now let's go and look at some of these people that I have called the gullible blind elite, who very soon, like Gloucester in Shakespeare's King Lear, will begin saying, "I stumbled while I saw." Look at this. This is an interesting picture. CPDM Senator Mbela Moki Charles weeps for Anglophone regions. Now look, I don't have time to go reading all of those little things there, but the message is clear. Why is Mbela Moki weeping today? Why is he crying? We called on these people, we urged them, come out, stand with us, let us together fight for what belongs to us. Let us together stomp for the freedom of the people of the southern Cameroons, which is an inalienable right. But they said they wanted crumbs. But they said they wanted some kind of privileges that made them stand out from the rest of us, the crowds. But today, they have their eyes to cry. They celebrated special status. They celebrated decentralization. But look at what is happening. Today, Mbela Moki is weeping. What is he saying? Mbela Moki says, Yaounde is buying even furniture, computers, all office equipment from Yaounde to send to the office of the chairman of the regional councils, to the office of the chairman of the House of Chiefs, that's in Boya and in Bamenda. This is in the era of decentralization. These are decentralized bodies. These are regional assembly where they are supposed to be like the mini overlords. But everything is bought from Yaounde. Everything. And it causes Mbela Moki to get furious. Oh my goodness. He is mad. He is weeping. Weeping for who? They should begin weeping for themselves. Because we told them. We told them. Remember, we told them. We want them. La République du Cameroon has never changed. They will not change. They don't plan to change. Not today, not tomorrow, not anytime. Mr. Paul Biya said this very clearly in France, in Paris, who was talking to Mr. Mo Ibrahim. He said and made clear that the intention of La République du Cameroon is to assimilate the people of the southern Cameroons. They failed to do it by peaceful means. That's what he said. They failed to do it by peaceful means. And so he came short of saying, now they are determined to do it by force. Like Clausewitz, Otto von Clausewitz says, that war is a continuation of politics by other means. Because they failed to do it through politics, through peaceful means, they opted for war. That's where we are today, my people. Listen, we are a peace-loving people. We are a people who like to rely on ourselves. We are a people who like freedom. We are a people who like to be given the opportunity to pick freely who will govern us. The quest of the people of the Southern Cameroons for freedom is to reinstitute, I don't say to institute, to reinstitute one of the most thriving functional democracies in Africa south of the Sahara. There are some already on the continent now. At least we can see the example in Ghana. We can see what is happening, in a few other countries. But my people, the example of the Southern Cameroons right from far behind is what should continue to animate us. Look at, Mbela Moki is not the only one crying. He's not the only one weeping. There is another man here. I had a lot of exchanges with Chief Atemebako in the early days of the struggle, way back in 2017, when he was telling me, Mr. Akuro, in fact, I'm sorry that you found yourself in this kind of situation where you have been chased out of the country, where you have been forced to abandon your job, where you have been kicked out and all whatnot because of your opinions. But you see, CRTV really weeps. We really need your voice here. Come in, apologize for promoting the ideologies, that's the independentist ideologies, and let us fix this thing, because this thing, the only thing that we'll need, that will be given to us and that we'll get, is effective decentralization. Please, pardon me when I talk and laugh, because I really can't help but laugh sometimes. But now this is the same Chief Atemebako who celebrated, who was excited, who jumped and danced when he learned they were going to have their House of Chiefs. Yes, they were going to have their special status. And this is what special status has brought to you. Today he cries that even the computer software, oh yes, he cries that Yaounde is not only buying all the equipment, Yaounde is not only retaining all the power and giving them an empty shell, no budget, nothing to work on, but the computers they bought to send to them, they even already installed software inside, and all the software is in French. Please allow me. All the software is in French. What did they expect? Remember what I said at the beginning? Anytime you settle for less than you deserve, what's going to happen to you? You will end up with less than you settled for. That is why I continue to say on this platform, by day and by night, if you know what is good for you, join us. Stand for total, unconditional, and absolute independence. I like to use the word absolute independence, copying from the late Christian Cardinal Tumi's expression when he was interpreting the results of the survey he commissioned and was conducted. Listen, absolute independence. That is why you see that when Christian Cardinal Tumi conducted a survey, 69% of our people said absolute independence. Just a year after, when the committee on dialogue and negotiations commissioned another survey, 89% of our people said absolute independence. And now try this year, or try it next year, 2022. You are definitely going to have 98%, because a lot of this bald-headed elite who swore and swore that they had harvested something big in the name of special status are now weeping. Some of them are reaching out and asking Mr. Akuro, can you tell us from which angle we begin joining you people? Because the time to join you has come. I said, really? The time for you to join us was a long time ago. It was long ripe and almost rotten for you to join us. But you decided to stumble with your eyes wide open. You refused to listen when there was no wax in your ears. You decided not to budge because you felt that you were getting something. But today, more and more, you are discovering that you have been transformed into a full-blown laughing stock. This is what happens when people refuse to listen. My people of the southern Cameroons, we are on the right trajectory. No one should deceive any one of us. Listen, anytime you feel a bit low, anytime you are beginning to wonder, or because you are discouraged by one thing or the other, and by the way, I've said it over and over and I repeat, don't ever let anybody in this struggle, his or her attitude, to influence your support for this struggle. No, don't. You are not seeking this freedom for any of us in the front lines who call ourselves leaders. No, you are seeking it for yourself, first of all. Pray God that you stay alive by the time we get there. You are seeking it for your children, for your children's children, and for generations of southern Cameroonians to come. You are seeking to print your name on the sands of time. That, yes, I was part of it. Just like Lillian did. Her children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren will see that picture with her kneeling and holding the feet of the Prime Minister of Australia. And they'll say, yes, we were part of it. This is what should animate us. Just take a look at this. Anytime you want to feel low, think of this. I call this the golden days of the Southern Cameroons. See, the Southern Cameroons police force, when policemen used to be upright and competent. Not when they were corrupt, not when they were everything, not when they were considered to be oppressive and the likes. These are the gold. This represent the moment in Southern Cameroon we should look to go back to improve. Look, this is another moment. You will not even believe it that this was the Tico International Airport. I might even be mistaken, perhaps even Manfe, or perhaps it was even Bali. I might be mistaken. But this is in Southern Cameroons. I'm not talking about Bamenda. No, it was not Bamenda. Tico, Manfe, Bali had good airports. International. Look at. These were airplanes flying from the Southern Cameroons at the time. Where are these things gone to? Where other parts of the world are going forward, we have gone backwards. Where other places are progressing, where these airports have now been transformed into some modern jewels, ours simply disappeared. Completely were simply disappeared. Look, this generation, we must cause our children, when they grow up, to know that we came, we met an injustice, we fought chivalrously, and we overcame. That we do not fight and leave it that they should come and continue. No, we fought and we went all the way until we overcame. That is the legacy that we of this generation must pass over to the next generation of Southern Cameroonians to come. I remember Napoleon Bonaparte saying, I came, I met, and I conquered. He didn't say I came, I met, I started and left it for others to conquer. He said, and I conquered. You Southern Cameroonians, wherever you are on the globe and listening to me, rise up right now in holy anger. Say, I have come, I have met, and I will conquer. Let us all renew the fire in us and fight by all peaceful means. I say continue to use all peaceful means available. Our sister Lilian in Australia was not using violence. Peaceful means, soft power, soft persuasion. I want to hear all those in the United Kingdom, in the United States of America, everywhere, who have been meeting their representatives, senators, members of parliament, members of Congress, members of the House of Commons, members of the House of Lords, to talk to them. You are all my heroes. I doff my cap to you. You are all my heroines. I doff my hat to you. Please, let us continue. Let us continue in this light. But most importantly, let us always, in all we do, preach the message of synergy. We must work together. Yes, my people, we will make it together. We can do it. We must do it. We have to do it. To God be the glory.